What's happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. I hope you are doing fantastic today. In this video, we are going to be asking the question, is a Knuck or Knuckles worth carrying in your EDC? We'll get right into it. So I have a couple different Knuckles and Knucks out here, and I'll be bringing some more out as the video goes on. Couple different versions right here to get us started. And you have traditional brass knuckles, which this is what brass knuckles are. I've had these for probably close to a decade, and you can see they're very well patinaed. I've had these for quite a while, and they are heavy duty buggers. Now, this was the only pair that I had for a long time. And I used to carry these around with me occasionally, depending on where I was going, what I was doing, that sort of thing. This is the ultimate set of knuckles. But the thing is, you can't always carry around something this wide, this thick, this heavy, because this is not something that is lightweight. This is full, thick brass. I want to say, yeah, almost quarter-inch thick brass knuckles. Now, you can get thinner, full-size ones like this. Nonetheless, they are still going to be ultra heavy. Then, the EDC world started to really pick up, and things like the EMP EDC Robo Knuck came out in titanium. So, and you have a single Knuck here. It can also be multi-useful in that you could throw a set of keys on here and use it as like a keychain. But the thing about these single Knucks is they are a lot lighter. They are a lot more compact. And I would say overall a lot more user friendly. For something like this, it's a lot more user friendly than the full set. Now, you will not get as much oomph with this as you will with these. You're going to be having a full fist of coverage here, whereas, you're only going to have one knuckle potentially covered here. And no one is saying that this is enough or this is enough or this isn't enough. It's going to be up to the end user at the end of the day, kind of what you want to carry with you, what you don't want to carry with you. Now, this is a handmade micarta Knuck that I did buy off a company that I do not support. I should actually have made a video to basically destroy this company, but I have not done that, and I'm not going to. But, I got a good product from them the first time. The second time, I bought something and never received it upon numerous messages. But I did buy a slip with it, bought the Knuck, very well done. And the thing about these micarta knuckles is they are even lighter weight typically than a titanium version, definitely brass or copper versions, and you're going to get the same amount of coverage, if not a little bit more, with something like this. And I'm a pretty big fan of these, and this is kind of a bougie way to carry a Knuck right here. There's definitely more simplistic micarta versions. Something similar to what you see here. This was made by our good buddy Jack's Lungs. This is a quarter of the size, or at least half the size and half the weight. And you're still going to get a nice amount of coverage here. So, it kind of just all depends on what you want, what kind of material that you want, and, you know, micarta and titanium and brass are not the only things that you can get. You know, you can get something made out of Altum, which is basically a plastic, a high hardness plastic. EMP EDC offers them in Altum, aluminum, and titanium. This is the Altum variant. So this is the lightest weight Knuck that I have. So well thought out and so well done. I mean, this is going to be the ultimate one, in my opinion, for lightweight user, you know, preferences. It's going to be the lightest weight one, easiest one to carry, and potentially one of the coolest ones. Now, another one that I'm a pretty big fan of, even though it's a little heavier, this is made by Tor Knives. This is a full copper single Knuck. They call them an SFK, single finger Knuck. And this is full copper, nice amount of space to get your finger in there. And you got some ridges here for some extra something on there. And you can throw a little lanyard or keys or whatever you want. I would steer clear of putting keys on them unless it was maybe one key, you know, not going to get in the way. Because if you were to carry this and need it, I wouldn't want a bunch of keys in my way when I'm trying to get it on there. Maybe one key, something like that I could see, or a lanyard like you see here, which I think this is actually due for a lanyard. I actually have two of the Kenny Knucks, and these Tor Knives ones are very, very heavy duty. They have a little bit of weight to them. I would say very similar to this thick micarta one, somewhere in that ballpark. And I think this is going to be one of the other better options. You know, I think between the skinny micarta, the Altum, the titanium, and then the full copper one, now you can get into some crazy stuff like what Damn Designs has here. This is a dual finger Knuck right here, and it's called the Damn Designs Kraken, which is going to be very potent, but very hard to carry with you in certain instances, because it's very thick, it's pretty tall. You know, it's almost as tall as a full set. It's got a little bit of weight to it, but for as big as this thing is, it's actually not that heavy at all, being as it's full titanium, anodized. I love this thing. And I think this could be potentially the best one out of all these as far as actual use, with the exception of this one. You got that nasty point there. You're able to put two fingers in there, and that's what she said. And you have the ability to really push this thing up against the back of your fingers there, which allows it to stay controlled. So I'm pretty sure these are out of stock anymore. Don't know if or when he will get more of those. And then there are plenty of other crazy variants that you can get as well. I keep one in my Data Crew pouch. This was actually a gift from Jack's Lungs way back when. And this is some sort of G10 type material with the lanyard. So there are an abundance of different Knucks and materials that you can get. Now, the ultimate question is it worth carrying one in your EDC, right? A lot of people, I would say, probably would say no. And I would have to believe that the people that are saying no most likely live and work in an area that does not have a high crime rate. You know, there isn't a lot going on. It could be out in the country, a small town, similar to where I live. Now, I'm just a big fan of EDC gear and different kinds of weapons and that sort of thing. So that's kind of why I went down this hole a little bit. But this is about the extent that I've gone. I have another Kenny Knuck, like I said, and someday I might pick up another one of these, but only because I love EMP EDC. I do carry one once in a while, depending on where I'm going. But as far as an everyday carry thing, it's not something typically I would need because I'm not in a bad area. I don't go to a lot of bad areas. I don't foresee myself getting in a lot of altercations or anything like that. Now, I know unexpected things happen, but, you know, if that happens, that's why you carry knives and other goodies on you. But nonetheless, depending on where you live and that sort of thing, I would say it might not be a bad idea to have one or two options just in case, you know, just in case you're going somewhere or, you know, what have you, just in case. And you don't got to go crazy and get something that's really expensive. I think these are like 20 bucks or something like that. Maybe a touch more. Not real bad. The micarta ones like this can be had for 20, 30 bucks. And I think these Ultim ones are maybe like 50 bucks, somewhere in there. So, I mean, you can get in the door with them and get good quality stuff for a decent price. You could get a full set of brass knuckles for under 50 bucks, from what I remember. Now, they might be a little bit more nowadays, but you could get a full set, but that wouldn't be optimal for EDC. So I just kind of wanted to touch base, cover some of these different Knucks from Damn Designs and EMP EDC and Tor knives, and pull out the full set of brass knuckles. Now, I do have a couple other kinds, some that are in my truck and some that are in other bags. I don't see it needed to do this video. They're basically either going to be G10 or some sort of plastic. So it's really not needed to bring it out. But I did want to cover some of these individual Knucks and kind of talk about knuckles for people who are newer or even people who have been around who just really never dabbled with the stuff. And, you know, if you wanted to pick up one just to go along with your EDC, you know, there's different colors and whatnot, you know, like this one specifically really goes pretty well with quite a few of my EMP EDC knives. So, I mean, it goes pretty good. And that's one of the main reasons why I bought that, and to support John, of course. Now, my new Nimble T and my Nimble X really match up with this guy. But, you know, you can get black and raw and different kinds. So, you know, you could do that just to have one, and one that kind of matches a lot of your gear. And then you could leave it at that. And that way, if you ever think you might need something like this, you have it. This easily slides in a fifth pocket or a small pocket on your jeans or khakis. It would be very beneficial to have in a time where you're going somewhere and you don't quite know what to expect. That's when I find that they come in very handy. You know, it'd be nice to have this as a backup to, you know, a knife or something else. You know, maybe you don't want to stab somebody. You know, maybe you just want to punch them and drop them on the ground, you know. So it really depends on your situation, your personality, where you live. All that sort of thing is going to come to fruition here, but I don't think it would be a bad idea to have one of these just in your EDC, just in case. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Keep an eye out. keep paying attention because the 3K giveaway entry video will be coming up very, very soon. Love you guys. Check out some more videos from old G-Ball. If you're new here and not subscribed, highly recommend subscribing. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.